The Harvesters. Company file. Stolen company report. It appears that the company has more enemies than the agency, because one day, a team of our field agents came across a company base. Everyone inside was dead, slaughtered to the last person, something that is an impressive achievement, considering that most of those employed by the company were non-human. Anomalous creatures, sentient artifacts, and the rare human who have the personality traits needed to work for a group that doesn't have humanity's best interests in mind. Raiding one of their bases is a tough operation for our agents. That whatever did this seemed to have done it without leaving a trace of what it did is equally impressive and worrying. What raises more red flags is whatever did this seemed not to have taken anything. So when a team of our agents arrived, they came to find an intact company archive and, more so, a nearly full storage and armory. So, doing what we do, we took the archive with us along with every item. The bodies were sent to the research teams so that the agency can discover more about the elusive group. Such is the topic of today's report. The start of the agency expanding the archives, letting us gather more information to aid our researchers and keep our agents in the field safe. And just as important, learn more about the company's practices. Subject 747218DCB. Purpose: containment and cover-ups. Name: The Harvesters. There is nothing in this world that is perfect. We all share the same reality of things constantly degrading, as entropy is the only force that we can never win against. Stall it, delay the inevitable, but in the end, we are all just mortal. I seem to be musing on grander things and let myself get distracted. But there is a point. The secrets that the company keeps, that the agency safeguards, the true nature of reality, will eventually be known, and just like with entropy, truth is something that can't be stopped, only delayed, which is why we have our sentries, all of them designed to keep the truth hidden for one more day. The Harvester is one such sentry. They're designed to make sure anyone who discovers something they shouldn't are promptly silenced. The way it does so is particularly brilliant. Once discovering someone who stumbled onto a secret, and if our observers didn't get the chance to watch their futures, then one of our human employees will track that person down and interview them on what they saw. What the person doesn't notice during the interview is the employee dropping a harvester in that person's home, when, in transport form, the creature is less than a few inches across and is the shape of a very small grey egg. Promising to do anything they can, our employee exits the house, leaving the harvester behind. It'll make its way into the walls and wait until nighttime, waiting until everyone is asleep, where it'll rapidly expand to around 3 feet. It'll look like a hairless dog with no head, colored a sickly pale white. Something about the design wouldn't let us change the colors to be something that blends a little more natural. Not a major concern, because everything else works perfectly. The harvester will then approach the sleeping people, and from the stump of its neck, it'll spawn a tentacle. And at the end of it will grow a human-like head, still pale, hairless, and off-white like the rest of its body. It'll even resemble its target's head somewhat. The harvester will spawn a tentacle for each person in the domicile. When it has the right number, all the heads it grew will shrink down to a needle point. After that, the harvester will plunge the needle into the person's head, right between the eyes. Usually, this will wake the victim up, but at that point it's too late, because the harvester will suck out the person's brain through its tentacle within the next 3 seconds. As they do so, they'll replace the vital organ with a copy of one of the heads they've spawned. The harvester will make a copy of that whole person's life, except for any supernatural event in their memories, and download it into the fake brain they just installed. While it's doing so, it may make a few changes to keep that person from encountering the anomalous world ever again, drastically decreasing the curiosity, a slight fear to go outside, and an inclination to accept things on the surface level. There will also be a desire to take care of the plants outside as well. When the harvester is done, it'll retract its tentacle and then leave the house, burying itself nearby and going into hibernation. To disguise itself, it'll produce a strange, cactus-like organ in the ground above their hibernation spot. The person will wake up and adjusted to their new life. They'll live the rest of their lives being dreadfully boring and able to take care of the strange cactus that showed up outside their home. Make no mistake, the harvester sucked out that person's brain and turned it into a remote drone, having paralyzed the body in order to take care of it for its very long lifespan. Memories and personality download into the drone is just so people familiar with the new drone won't draw too much attention by being able to function in society. Sure, memory erasure is an option, but it's so much more expensive to implement, and there's always the risk that the memories, with the right stimulation, can re-emerge. putting the company back at square one. And if that's the case, we might as well just save the money and kill them. Also, if needed, the harvester can be re-triggered in the area it was planted. Activating it is just a matter of having an employee go to the area it was last assigned and playing a specific radio signal. It comes with an added bonus of the harvester being able to use its collected drones as well. This product is amazing in that it could take control of them and use them like an extra limb, making it very stealthy to use in urban areas, or getting access to its targets just by having the ability to use thumbs. And if it's really needed to get rid of evidence, killing a harvester is simply a matter of using a specialized weed killer. Spray some of it on the bulb of the plant it forms to hibernate, and it'll rapidly decay and wither away, becoming nutrients for the soil. But doing so will kill all of its accumulated drones as well. Because the harvester is operating as a central node, there may be an actual way to kill the harvester without killing its drone, but as far as we're concerned, researching that is a wasted expense. Why bother saving a few brain-dead humans who got too curious for their own good? Money can and will be used for greater ventures.